Welcome to the chicken coop.
Chickens!
Hey,
Chickens.
we're going to be answering some Patreon questions today, right, Teresa?
Yes.
If that bird will be quiet.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
It is
nature.
pretty. Yeah, you're right. We got a bunch of questions on Patreon. We asked the question. What did we ask?
I think you just asked for questions.
All right, so I told the patrons, shoot me any questions by noon. Any question you ask by noon, we are going to answer on 30 Miles Out YouTube. So Here we go. What's the first question?
Okay, Sam wants to know what and how important is line color. In your opinion, what's the best store-bought bait for surf fishing to include fishing for shark?
All right, I'm going to have to ask my Vanna White to help here.
And
can you grab that spider wire right there?
Line color.
Okay, so my answer to that is line color does not matter because we're using leaders. But to me it matters because I want to be able to see my line. I think the best is white because all my colored stuff eventually turns white anyway. The salt water bleaches it white. So if I could find some standard Power Pro spider wire stuff that was white, we'd be in business. Until then, I'm using the yellow and any bright color. Teresa's used pink before. The camo blue spider wire, anything I can look back and see. And so I know where it's at is critical to me. So color doesn't matter. We're using 2 to 14 feet of leader depending of mono or fluoro. So we want to be able to see it. Next question, please.
In your opinion, what's the best store-bought bait for surf fishing to include fishing for sharks? So store-bought bait.
Store-bought bait?
Surf fishing. I guess that would be redfish, pompano, and
I would have
sharks.
to say the easiest thing. Teresa does a lot of, or used to do a lot of surf fishing in her younger days and still does now here in Florida. I bet she would agree with me if I said fish bites.
Fish bites works great, but we always used cut bait.
But fish bites will catch the cut bait.
It will, yeah. Whiting was our biggest.
Go ahead and show them some fish bites. Fish bites works by itself.
There's no bait. There's no fish.
Fish bites.
Fish bites.
I like the shrimp flavor, but they all work. Anything. And if fish bites thrown on bottom, we'll catch drum, redfish, pompano. I've seen sharks caught on it. It'll catch everything. And if not, it'll catch bait fish that you can cut up or use live. So fish bites is where the cycle begins, right, Teresa?
Yes.
We're rocking. This looks killer.
Dead shrimp is easy because you can break it up into pieces. You can break it up into pieces.
Okay.
So you can catch pompano on that, black drum. I mean,
so fresh dead shrimp.
Yeah, fresh dead shrimp.
Okay, next question.
Pinfish.
Pinfish. But the fish bites catches all the pins.
Right,
and all
but
the
I think
whiting
he wants to know just what different types of baits you would use.
Anything live. Fishing. Anything live.
Live, then dead, then fish bites.
Anything about this long is amazing.
Unless you want to start by catching your bait, which I love to do, so then start with fish bites. Right.
Okay. Next question.
Adam wants to know, what's your thoughts on using pinfish for bait in the surf or BTB? Are they effective in big water, or is their productivity limited to the bays and inshore? So that's just an extension of that first question.
Yes, pinfish are amazing everywhere.
Pinfish work great.
Pinfish work
Cut up
good.
or whole.
You always want to introduce something that's not normally there. You always get a good bite when that happens. But I use pinfish on the grass flats and have amazing results when there's pinfish everywhere. So you take a pinfish and put it in the middle of the Gulf, you're introducing something that's there around structure, but not out in the middle a lot of times. And we drop those down on wrecks with Brian sees we've done that, and amberjack hit them. We troll them behind the kayaks. Everything will hit a pinfish.
Yeah, and these guys love.
The chickens love to eat pins too.
Weather best before or after storms, changing fronts, highs, lows for the surf, inlets, etc. Go. That's Paul. Pre-front is always good.
Pre-front is always good. Yeah, when you know the front is coming, that's always amazing. Everybody runs to the water.
Yes, they feed heavy pre-front.
They know they're going to be kind of drunked up after that front passes, so they feed heavy with pre-front. Full moon. Well, we went fishing the other day after a full moon, and the bite was amazing before it, and then after the full moon, they had fed all night.
Yeah.
And if it's a full moon, you look out, there's a chance in the morning they're going to be fat and happy and not too ready to bite.
But there's still fish out there. It's the ocean.
Yeah, you can still get them to hit, but we notice after full moons, I've noticed that my whole life, you can have a much tougher bite.
Okay, Michael wants to know, with 40-pound monofilament, what is the best knot to tie to lure or hook?
Full system will point the mic this way.
If my beautiful assistant will help me out here.
So this 40-pound, anytime I go from like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, I just do a clinch knot. And the fatter it is, the less wraps you have to do. 40-pound test, I'll do I don't know, 4, 5, 6 wraps. And I get up to around 50 pound, I may only do 4 wraps. And then just a simple fisherman's knot. Wrap it around the line and back through the hole. Bam. Next question, please.
Rocco, what's up, Rocco? What's your absolute must-have in a first aid kit? We don't really take anything out on the water with us. Actually, I think we do.
I used to have a Walmart like first aid kit.
I have one inside my bag, actually at the bottom. It's got Band-Aids.
Never use it.
A package of that energy or emergency stuff.
Yeah.
I have had to give that to somebody once. It's got Advil in it, and then we use this when we get inside the vehicle.
It's hand sanitizer. Don't drink it, folks.
You can keep this on in your boat in small doses. Honey, you're trying to shove the mic straight up into my mouth. I don't want it up there. Then you hold it. There you go. You just get in the car after you've been fishing and you've got cuts all over your hands. Just squirt, squirt, squirt. Rub it all over. It's gonna burn for a minute, but you know, it helps. What's the furthest and deepest BTB you would safely suggest going for an experienced and amateur fisherman for both pedal and paddle kayak? That's Adam. 1 mile for us, but it is totally a preference thing. There are people that go 3 or 4 miles. There's also people that go 7 or 8 miles.
But to just put a kind of a bracket on it, less than a mile, a lot of people do. I see 70-year-old women's paddleboarding half a mile out.
Yeah.
Even past us. I had a friend that went chasing albacore and went, and it took him about 3 hours to get back, and he guesstimated he was 7 miles out, and he felt that was too far, and he was scared to death. So that kind of gives you an idea. 7 miles is stupid far in a kayak. Weather can come between you and the beach, and you can't punch through it or go around it because you ain't got a motor. I say keep it less than 3 if you're hardcore and you know what you're doing, just because of the weather thing that can pop up between you and land. And I say if you're a beginner, stay close to the beach and work your way out slowly to 1 mile. Plenty of fish between a half a mile and the sand. Most of the time we're catching fish right at the blue break, you know, right?
Yeah,
we're in the mahi at 1/4 mile.
Right.
And the way I judge it is if I can see people's limbs, their legs and arms walking, I know that I'm a half a mile or less. When I lose sight of their limbs and I just see black figures, I know that I'm about a mile. So that's a good way to judge it. If you can make out people walking, you're less than a mile. If you can't make out their arms and legs, you're probably at a mile or more.
Next question. The jigs you spray painted white in the one video, are those homemade? That's Rusty.
All right, Rusty. They are homemade, but not by this homie.
How about this homemade homie?
These came from Sulphur, Louisiana. There's a lot of guys that pour these molds. Nathan painted these for me, and then when they chip up, I repaint them with just Walmart spray paint.
Yes.
So this is just a casting. Somebody's pouring. Lots of guys are pouring the lead into the mold, and then I repaint when they get chipped up with spray paint.
Thoughts on Hobie compass for BTB? So
we love our compasses. We love them inshore. We love them offshore.
Yeah.
We love them BTB.
Yeah.
We love them a mile out in the Gulf. We love them a half mile
when they're in the garage.
We love them in the garage. Compass is just an amazing boat.
The only difference for the compass is that it takes more waves over the bow and the sides are lower.
But we go on slick, calm days because we live here, and if it's rough, we just don't go that day. As long as you do reasonable, less than a foot seas, which most people do anyway, compass is beautiful.
The last one, Shay, of course, with the biggest question of all. When and where is the next camp out, and if plans are in the works for one?
All right, problem with the camp out right now is we got a 16-year-old in high school, so it's hard for us to break away in the fall, play sports. But
he's got a job now, so that, like, things have gotten more complex because he's working, he's going to school, he has sports. So, like, now mom and dad have to, like, tighten everything up and stay at home. Yeah, drive.
Yeah.
So we really.
But having said that,
if we do one, it will be local. Ty and I have discussed having one here at the property. Just getting a what are those things? A porta potty.
Porta potty.
And
we have an outdoor shower.
Letting everybody set up in the yard. So maybe, I don't know. Let us know how
we got lots of space. So
feel about that.
Yeah, we talked about doing a 30-mile camp out on our 2 acres.
On the property. Of course, you know, all you patrons are invited to come to his birthday party October 6th, so I would say keep them separate so that we can do just the camp out thing with the patrons. If you don't leave me alone.
You're talking with the microphone.
I talk with my hands.
Not when you got a mic in it. I'm going to throw this phone across the yard, so help me Jesus. Right.
I'm going to push you off the screen.
Any more questions from patrons?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it. So
that's it?
With the camp out, let's talk about it some more.
Okay.
How about we talk about it with them some more and figure out what would work?
All right.
Would y'all all see? This is the thing that you didn't want to do. You didn't want to have it in the yard and get a porta potty because you would feel like you weren't camping with them because you were staying inside.
Oh, I'll sleep out here in the yard.
But, okay, in your hammock.
Yeah.
So, you know, let us know if that works. We can set one up.
I'm sleeping down here by the lake back here where I get the breeze.
He's built an outdoor kitchen.
I built an outdoor kitchen, yeah. We got an outdoor shower. We got outdoor.
We can do that anytime. Anytime.
Okay. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Thanks a lot for watching. Speaking
of, you can't see my shirt. After this, I'm getting tacos, chicken tacos.
Hey, thanks to all the patrons, right, for these awesome questions.
Thank you, and thank you for being patrons.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
And guys, we're doing a lot of stuff on Patreon. If you're not there, come on over. We're having a blast on it. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe. See you next time right here on 30 Miles Out. What?